Well, Funkmaster Flex called Damon Dash out the other day, defending Lear Cohen. Damon Dash responded, and then Funk Flex flexed on Damon Dash. Let's get into this one. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Hit that bell, hit that subscribe button. Guys, hit that thumbs up button for me. Okay, so at the end of this video, I'll play Flex's original breakdown of Rockefeller, Dame Dash's role, Jay-Z. Now, this is his interpretation from being a DJ before Rockefeller existed, seeing Jay-Z rise up, Dame Dash rise up in their history and how they came together and how epic that was. He always said how Damon Dash helped him at a certain point in his life. He gave Damon Dash his props, right? But, you know, he didn't like that Damon Dash was going after Lear Cohen for being a culture vulture. I'm going to tell you something. I don't think Lear Cohen's a culture vulture. What I do think is he's a ruthless businessman, and he tore two guys apart that were really good together. Instead of mediating the situation, saying, you guys are really good together, he pulled them apart, lifted one up over the other one. Now, I can't really call that a vulture. Maybe that's a business vulture, you know? Because Lear Cohen is about business, and it is the music business. And, you know, this guy's been around. He used to be like a roadie for Run DMC, you know? He's definitely a part of history, you know? So we're talking, 30 years in the game, you know? Now, Damon Dash made his points as well. I'm not saying Damon Dash is wrong, and I'm not saying Flex is wrong. But okay, so let's get to today, if you guys have been keeping up with it. So this is what happened. So Flex, and then I'll go backwards. So then Flex, he flexed. He said Flex net worth 14 million, Damon Dash net worth 2 million. If you don't know Damon Dash's story, he lost a lot of money after Rockefeller. I don't know how, okay, but he did. And then, he had big problems. Then he did Rachel Roy clothing, made some money back. Damon Dash is confusing, but obviously he's doing fine in California. He has his own television. He's an entrepreneur. He has motor oil. His son has cookies. He has a TV network. He's trying to get off the ground independently, which is hard. So Damon Dash is doing his thing still. Now, Funk Flex's Dusko Ponting, which is Damon Dash. You up, boss? Maybe we can leave the comments for this one. You speaking boss language still? Papoose commented, you're in rare form. So basically he shows that he's worth 14 million and Damon Dash is worth a lot less than him. Now, Flex is very rich. Okay, he had TV shows. He had a lot of car TV shows. That's what I'm talking about. He had the radio. He does gigs every week. I think he's in his 50s. So he's still out here moving. It's hard to do. Now originally, Funk Flex was defending Lear Cohen, saying that Damon Dash lies a lot and doesn't tell the truth about the history. But I can understand he called Damon Dash a liar, so of course Damon Dash is gonna respond to that. He basically, he broke it down. We'll play that part next. But yesterday Funk Flex said, I don't judge people on the color of their skin. I judge people on their level of their passion, work ethic. Not always about black and white. Sometimes it's about right and wrong. My parents taught me early in life the color of your skin will never define you. Your work ethic will. It's top notch. Anyone telling you different is a liar. Veteran OGs sometimes take advantage of the lack of knowledge a person has and then decide to feed you lies because of the unhappiness they have within. He tells Damon Dash to get therapy. He says not tolerating the lies. And, really, I think these two need to sit down, hash out the history, and then really get to the root of Damon Dash's problem with Lear Cohen. I really still believe it's just he boosted Jay-Z up to be the president of Def Jam. They liquefied Rockefeller, right? Jay-Z owned 100%. Kind of forced Biggs and Damon Dash out of that and the clothing, and then Jay-Z took it all, and he blames Lear Cohen for that, but it takes two to tango. Jay-Z was also swayed that way. Flex said the reason Damon Dash got left out is he didn't adapt to the times. He was still aggressive towards everybody instead of adapting and listening and everything. And Damon Dash, this is how Damon Dash was successful. He went up against the machine. That takes a lot of guts, but it's like he's self-made, and Flex didn't take that away from him. It's just, I remember, if you were in the even just a fan during that time, it was like, damn, Dame Dash and Jay-Z not together, man. You know, that's crazy. I still believe, I don't care how much Jay-Z made afterwards, it would have been more real if they stayed together, more authentic, and it would have been different. You know, Jay-Z went more of a commercial route with, you know, and I'm not saying he did anything wrong. I'm just saying it felt so authentic when Jay-Z and Dame Dash and Biggs were together. It was just something really authentic coming out of that machine, you know? And it was sad to see that end, but everything good does come to an end, you know? Things come in cycles in the music business, you know? Anyways, I'm gonna play FLEXES' original thing going at Dame Dash. Again, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I appreciate you guys.
I don't want to offend anybody today. Ex-Rockefeller people, I guess, Dame Dash fans, which is nothing wrong with that, in the comments, attacking Lior. And, you know, I've often seen, I'd rather no music, bro. You could turn that off. That dude James is giving me a headache. You know, and turn my headphones up a little bit. Okay, so, on top, so, you know, I look at the comments, and normally, you know, New York, I like to roust the bouse in the comments. So I said, you know what? I'm going to leave it. I said, in the beginning of my mind, I'm going to leave it alone. Then I got in there. And then I saw people adding Dame Dash, Dusty Popper, and they kept using the word culture vulture. And the word culture vulture, New York, it really bothers me. It bothers me when people take that phrase and attach it to something and with no merit. And I'm going to tell you that I swear is the truth. And I'm going to tell you how this game went. 1990, I used to DJ for Chuck Chillout. What's the young man from Brooklyn? Jazzo. I was on WBLS every Friday and Saturday night. Jazzo bought Chuck a record. It was a Hawaiian Sophie. And I think it's 89.90. It was different sounding, weird sounding. The video was a little off-putting, but people really gravitated to it over time. And Jazzo at the time was a very respected lyricist in Brooklyn. He was on Capitol Records at the time. This is 1990 when artists weren't being put on majors. And he had Jay-Z on this song, and I remember something. He didn't have it featured. They were like equal billing, which I thought was cool. And I'll tell you something, Jazzo being super respected, I think was harder for Jay-Z to be on that song because I think he got criticized for it, but he was dope on that particular song or on that particular project. And I remember Jazzo maybe not putting out any more music. And then I don't remember hearing a lot from Jay-Z after that in 90. And then maybe, I want to say 92, 93, and I could have my years wrong. Dame Dash had a label situation on Atlantic. Shout to Clark Kent, because Clark Kent was the person I think signed that deal at Atlantic. And the reason why I'm saying a lot of names today, New York, because I saw a piece of artwork where Rockefeller Records did like a whole arm tree of all the different people that they put in the business. I'm going to tell you all the people that they don't mention today. Because I just want like culture vulture and this, that, and this, that. And I'm going to tell you why this story bothers me and annoys me. Because it annoys me people from my era twisting the history book when we already got the youngins that never want to tell the truth. But when I watch 40 and 50-year-old men that I know I saw, you see, what they didn't account for is I am relevant in 2018 and my eyes, and I saw it. And I know Jay-Z's not on the gram and Lior's not on the gram. That's why people lie so much. So I don't want to skip anything. Let me get back to Atlantic Records where Clark Kent worked. Now let me explain Clark Kent to you, New York. He was the most respected DJ coming out of Brooklyn. He also produced big hit records. So him signing Dame Dass's situation or influencing it was a big deal because of Clark Kent's credibility. Then one of the groups was Original Flavor, which Ski was in, and Ski, another person that they don't mention, used to produce a lot of the songs, and I think Ski was one of the rappers. So I want to place the connection with you. Atlantic Records, Clark Kent. Ski was a member of Original Flavor. He did the tracks. Jay-Z does a feature. Because all these people were missing on that tree that came out. All right? Now, these were people, Original Flavor wasn't the greatest group, New York. Decent. Jay-Z had a great verse on that song. His swag came through in the vid. You know? You saw it. He was on some wiggity wah, which was trash. But him as an individual, you saw something. You didn't know what. Now, all of this is happening. Redman's popping, Wu-Tang's popping. Not even Bad Boy yet. Uptown Records, Diddy's making great remixes for Mary J. I'm painting a picture. These dudes ain't on the map yet. And the game is a certain way. And I can't stand when people tell the game wrong. I got nothing to benefit New York. I wasn't part of any of this success. Right? I want to just get that across. I was not part of it at all. Okay. So now where are we at? Atlantic, Clark Kent, right? Clark Kent always told me about Original Flavor. He always beat me in the head when I was on the radio. He always beat me in the head about Jay-Z. I was like, whatever, And I may get my timeline wrong somewhere in here, but somehow Jay-Z makes his way to Payday Records. Now, is that In My Lifetime? I think that's the song. This is before Dead Presidents. In My Lifetime, Payday Records. Payday Records is a record label that had a ton of credibility because of DJ Premier, and he had a lot of hits. It was owned by Patrick Moxie. When you got a record on Payday at the time, it meant something as a DJ. Jay-Z's now on that label. Credibility inherited. But he's a dope MC. I never want to take away from that. A dope MC. His records are getting better. In My Lifetime, I'm going to tell you something. AZ was cranking at the time. And I remember I remember some street cats in the Bronx saying to me, Flex, you going to play that Jay-Z? And I said, you mean AZ? It was like, no, Jay-Z. I said, bro, I don't know Jay-Z. I know AZ. Because that used to get confused in the beginning. You remember that, Tat? Am I lying? They used to get confused. Because AZ was that street dude making them songs. Lyrical. Out of Nas's camp. Correct. And from Brooklyn. Cool. I dare anybody to tell me I'm lying today. Okay. So then now we're at Payday Records. Jay-Z signed there, In My Lifetime, which Clark Kent might have produced. And I remember Clark Kent used to be in the videos. So that used to give the project credibility, because I respected Clark Kent as a DJ from Brooklyn, producing hits. And then I used to see Dame and Jay. So that was, for me, the credibility for a lot of people. Correct? And you being from Brooklyn, Tat, turn his tats, Michael. Me being from Brooklyn, is that correct? Is that correct?
That is correct.
We a talk show today. Talk about this. Okay. Now we're at Payday. I believe it's produced by Clark, and I'm not sure. Here's the song. Boom. It's bubbling. Right? somewhere Dame Dash is in the equation. But remember, for Dame, incredible hustler, incredible marketer, he's also coming from a situation in Atlantic where those groups didn't happen. So I looked at him as a person as, I gotta see what's happening, because you had two groups in there that were okay, mediocre, but didn't move. And now you're telling me Jay-Z's the thing, right? Cool, we're at Payday Records. Now we go to Jay-Z's next label, which is Freeze / Priority / Sleeping Bag. I miss it. Something else was in there. Priority / Sleeping Bag / Priority. What was somebody else? Freeze, Rockefeller, Priority, Sleeping Bag, Will Sokoloff. And Sokoloff, don't get mad at me, one of the biggest guy that never pay out royalties. And Will, you know I'm your friend, but I'm gonna keep it sold 1,000 today, my brother. Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. He then puts out, what's the song? Dead Prez.
Oh, correct.
Was it Dead Prez?
Correct, because
Dead Presidents.
Yes.
It's on Freeze, Priority. Let me tell you something, New York. This label was garbage. If it wasn't for Jay-Z's swag and Dame Dash's marketing and push, nobody would have knew they were on this label. Priority Records was the label that used to have hits with Ice Cube and people like that. Freeze Records used to put out house records. Sleeping Bag Records used to rob people. They were in a bad situation, but they had good music, and Dame Dash was making it happen. I didn't know Biggs. I don't know, today I don't know if he's the money man or what he is or what he was behind the scenes.
quiet part.
He was quiet financial partner. I did not know him. He didn't exist in my mind yet. I didn't see him yet. Those are the two guys I saw running around. Now, in this area, Christy Clifford used to manage Kid Capri, still does. Kid Capri used to do college tours. Jay-Z used to open up. I am just giving you all the names that don't get mentioned because I saw that family tree the other day. And I just want to acknowledge some people. And then I saw how people were with my picture of Lior. So I'm like, if they want the story, I'm going to give it to them. I'm going to give you Sidebar, New York. You know that song? What's that song? Annie, what's that called?
Hard Knock Life.
Hard Knock Life. They don't mention this either. Hard Knock Life was a break beat that the 45 King made. He only gave a few DJs those pieces of vinyl. Kid Capri was one of those DJs. And I might have my tour wrong, but I'm going to tell you, there was a tour, the Bad Boy Tour. Right?
Yeah.
The Bad Boy Tour that Puffy was very generous to put them on. Right? Because they love to scream culture vulture. That's their word. Culture vulture. Kid Capri was playing this breakbeat because he was the intermission DJ in the arena. In playing that breakbeat, Jay-Z or Dame walk up to Capri and say, "What's that song?" It's Annie, a breakbeat produced by the 45 King. Hence, here comes the song. They never mention that. Now I want to divert back. Is it Payday? Where were we at?
We were at
No, we were at Freeze / Sleeping Bag / Priority Records, the garbage label they were on. But those guys made it work. Those guys' swag and effort made it work.
That's when they put the Benz out in the street covered.
That was no. That wasn't until they got the Def Jam money. Let me keep this all in perspective, Tat. No, it came.
I saw Priority on
Now, here comes Ain't No, right?
Yeah.
They never mentioned Big Cap. Because Big Cap was the one that was playing that record, not Flex, not anybody else. Big Cap was playing that record. That Irv Gotti got to him. they never bring up Irv Gotti. Irv Gotti, New York, because Dame had a situation at Atlantic Records that I didn't really dig, and I think a lot of other DJs didn't. At that time, we wasn't picking up his phone calls. Not personal. It was just when somebody has it. It's just the way it is. If you work in records or whatever it is. Granted, Dame was cocky. And I want to tell you something, New York. His voice and the way he spoke to us about Jay-Z in that very beginning, he was the cog / mouthpiece / genius at that Rockefeller. Dame Dash once told me, Flex, you sleeping and you're playing yourself. And I'm going to keep it 1,000. I would act tough in front of him, but then I would ask Cap or somebody, yo, what is he talking about? Is this Jay-Z popping? Because I don't want to miss it. But he made you think. And I'm going to tell you something about Rockefeller, New York. They came through in the bad boy era, which is the brightest shining light that you could ever see. And I commend them because to be successful in the bad boy era meant you were really a really real brand. And they did that, man. And I'm going to tell you something. In their defense, a lot of people didn't believe in them, me included. A lot of people didn't. A lot of people didn't give them the benefit of the doubt. And a lot of people didn't help them. You know, I did see that. And I could, because Bad Boy was still strong. Biggie was still out. You had your veterans that was still out. You had LL that was still out. All type of artists. So you were kind of like, hey, this isn't really where I'm at. Now, Ain't No comes out, and Cap is playing the dirty. They didn't even have a clean on the vinyl. So I didn't have the clean to play on the radio. And I might have been mentioning it on the radio. I think I played the instrumental saying that I don't have the clean. I can't play the words, but Cap played this in the tunnel on Sunday, and it means something. Right? Cool. Irv Gotti, who I know from Mike Geronimo and all his credible artists he was putting out, and I had a respect for him, was the only one that was able to call people about Rockefeller, right? And then he called, he said, Flex, I got the clean downstairs. He said, is it okay if Gotti, if you say I'm not, we're going to tell the truth. And Gotti said to me, is it okay if I bring Dame Dash around? Or something? I said, nah, I'm cool. You can give me the record. For no other reason, it's just I didn't know him. No, cool. We're at Ain't No. Now I'm gonna tell you something, because they always use the word culture vulture with Def Jam. Rockefeller didn't want to be on Def Jam in the beginning. They offered them a bag to promote Ain't No. They offered them a bunch of cash asking, could you promote the record? Meaning they know they wasn't good enough to be on Def Jam, but could you promote it? And they went to Kevin Liles. Now I want to explain these people that these people call culture vultures, because I want to bring it in modern terms for you youngins. Kev Liles was where? Atlantic Records. So what's that? That's Trey Songz. That's T.I. What else is over? Bruno Mars. What else? Cardi's over there. And
300 delays.
Wait, no, but not I'm gonna skip it. But Lior rejuvenated Atlantic Records.
Correct.
So that's
T.I.
Mike Kaiser, right?
Yep.
I'm giving you some names. So that's Lior. So then Lior now and Kev, what do they go on to do? 300 Entertainment, which is Fetty, which is who else? Rich the Kid. Who else? Young Thug. Who else? So I want to give you something for you youngins to understand all them names we rattling off. Right? That's like 3 different labels. Def Jam consisted of all these guys at one label. Lior, Kevin Liles, who am I missing? Mike Kaiser, who's presently at Atlantic. Julie Greenwald, right? All these vultures, right? They were at one label, right? This one label had LL, Redman. Who else they had over there? Method Man. What else? Montel Jordan. What else? Slick Rick. I'm just going through the here. Now, I want to ask you something, New York. Remember, this time period I'm talking about, Rockefeller's on freeze / sleeping bag /Robbery Records. Right?
Yeah.
They're on a garbage label. Garbage. They go into that label asking if they can drop a bag to get their record promoted. Mr. Kevin Lyles, Mr. Lior, and Mr. Mike Kaiser come up with a better idea. We got this Nutty Professor soundtrack. Why don't we put your song on there? Why don't we help you shoot a good video? Why don't we fix your life? Damn, you remember that, bro? Remember that, bro? Because New York, I'm going to tell you something. Because that record was so hot, and because of all the effort that Jay and Dame and Biggs put in, I was watching because I was like, man, if they really get this together, this is going to be something. Something else going to start. So everybody was asking labels questions. Where they going to end up? Who's going to pick it up? How they going to get off a freeze? So with a soundtrack, New York, comes a budget. They were already successful. They didn't need Rockefeller. But they saw something that was golden in them that a lot of other people didn't see, including me. A lot of people didn't see. Saw something golden. Now, here comes the project. Well, not even the project. The album doesn't happen. The single happens, right?
Correct.
Single's out. Right? This is they're still, and that's still on freeze, but they're working and promoting it, making it look like a Def Jam project.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Mr. Lior Cohen, that's what he did for them though. Right? The culture vulture. I want to know where in there was there a culture vulture situation. Because I'm going to tell you about that word culture vulture, New York. A culture vulture can only succeed if a sellout wants to sell it. A culture vulture cannot take anything from anybody unless there's a greasy, sleazy person representing the culture and he can be bought. A culture vulture can't operate on his own. He needs a sleazy culture representative. So I'm breaking this down clean tonight. Now, here we are. They're at Def Jam. And you know why they had to be at Def Jam? Because Bad Boy Records was turning their motherfucking lights off. Let me tell you something, New York. If Rockefeller didn't sign with Def Jam, Jay-Z would have been Mike Geronimo. You hear me? He would have been a respected lyricist that slipped to the bottom of the toilet because he was in a bad label situation. Because those guys who use the word culture vulture, they cut that freeze nasty sleeping bag nasty priority deal. They lucky Def Jam got them out of the toilet. But you know what, New York? This is what it is. You want to know what it is? It's always easy to take the Jewish guy, the guy who's successful in 2018 still. It's easy to point at that guy. It's easy to make him the bat. I don't know Lior in New York. I don't know him. You know what I know? I was on the streets on this radio when they was trying to get their game going. I can speak from that point of view. So when you guys make your little pieces of paper of your family tree of all the people you help, why don't you make a tree of all the people that helped y'all? And I'm gonna tell you, because I'm not calling names tonight. You know why? Because I'm going on the movement, because I saw that Rockefeller movement in my comments. You guys used to be the swag guys, the guys that didn't want to talk to nobody, the guys who knew it all, the silent guys, moving, big dogs. After time, you got forgotten. Now you want to speak and be heard, and now you want credit. Lay in the same bed you laid in 96, lay in the same bed in 2018. Lay in that bed. Because I'm tell you something. I know anybody hearing me at the sound of my voice, I know people don't like me. And when I hit my deathbed, I ain't got one number to call. You know why? Because I'm going to lay in my bed that I created. Because that bed got me through a lot of ways in the beginning. It may not work on my deathbed, but I'm okay with that. But I'm going to wear it like a champ. Y'all need to wear it like a champ. And I'm going to tell you something, New York. I'm going to tell you why these guys are bitter. Because a lot of these Rockefeller dudes were talking crazy to Def Jam. The arm that was feeding them. They want to videotape people and put them on blast and make them look erratic and funny. Jay-Z did the right thing. The game was changing. It was time to refine your personality and do things better. If you chose that direction and you chose that exit on the highway then, choose that exit now, bro. Don't look at people with that culture vulture word. It's a bad word, man. And I'm surprised at y'all. Because you know what's so funny? Y'all used to give credit. Now it's about what you can take and what you can form. It's easy to scream, you want to be independent in 2018. Mother, you can't get a deal. And there's nothing wrong with that. Do the independent. I think independent's a great thing for people. That culture vulture word, I ain't letting that fly no more out here. It ain't flying with me no more. And don't apply pressure to me on my gram, on a friend that I post. Because I'm going to tell you about that Leo Cohen, bro. That Leo Cohen road managed for Run DMC. Game over. Y'all ain't going to top that. There ain't nobody in this music business going to top that. Road manager for Run DMC. The boy met them at a concert and became a roadie first. Russell Simmons started with nothing in college. I think Kev was in DC promoting records. Kaiser was working at that, what was that place he was? He was working at like Best Buy or something nuts. It was something.
The Wiz,
whatever it was. And you use that culture vulture word, they cut you millions, bro. They signed each and every one of your artists for $500,000 and better. They gave you $1 million marketing budget on every artist you put out. I know my numbers. I was signed at the label at the same time. You got bonuses. Y'all did tours. Def Jam Records made y'all, bro. They made you and changed your life. I repeat, Jay-Z would have been Mike Geronimo. Matter of fact, at the time, Mike Geronimo was bigger than him, bro. He was bigger. He was bigger. We're gonna stop this culture vulture talk. You know why? Because anybody that uses, I'ma check them. You know why? That's the word that you use for your own failures, for the things that you didn't accomplish in life. Be a man, be men in this game, man. This rap thing, you veteran hip-hop dudes, be men, man. Be men. Stop, man. I'ma call people on it from now on moving forward. That's what I'm doing. I'm calling people on it. Stop. My brother, Dame, I respect you in the utmost way. I'm gonna tell you something, New York. Dame Dash helped me in a very dark time in my life. I was in a management with Jessica Rosenblum I wasn't happy with. I love her, but at the time, I just wanted space. I was sleeping till 5 p.m. in the daytime, and I didn't have any focus. And for some reason, I was supposed to meet Dame Dash and Jay-Z at their office. What was that street? It was like down John Street. And Dame Dash walked me through John Street, Rockefeller. He showed me where they did the artwork. He showed me where, like, they go on tour and how they do things. And I said, wow, y'all do this here? He said, yeah, we do it here. And I learned a lot from him. He gave me his realtor. And I called my man Bobby J, rest in peace. And I said, yo, I just sat with Dame Dash and he put this office thing together. The label ain't doing it from, they doing everything. I said, I gotta take over my clubs. I gotta take over my own mixtapes. He said, yo, I think Dame told me, yo, you got a tape. You can get a budget and overhead. I said, really? And I put my foot forward. I learned a lot from him, man. But my brother, you are a liar. You are a liar. And it bothers me, man. I like you, man. It bothers me so much. You are a liar. And you lie because Jay-Z and Lior ain't on that gram to call you on it. It's not cool, bro. It ain't cool. That Rockefeller legacy is amazing. New York, I never seen nothing like it. I never seen dudes grind from the bottom like that with no distribution. I remember they used to go on tour, college tours with their own money, spending their own bread. I never seen that. Yo, Jay-Z went from a guy that couldn't have a stage show to tearing them stages down to a place I didn't understand. And then became that dude, like going at dudes on songs. I didn't understand it. And guess what? Y'all talk all that talk, y'all never created another Hove. So obviously, man, the cog was someplace else. And let me tell you something. All you Rockefeller dudes love to be on the gram and talk and talk and talk. That big business was being conducted between Lior and Jay from the gate. All that hooping and hollering, like, that was never gonna fly. Irv Gotti, instrumental in that situation. Clark Kent, instrumental. Ski, instrumental. Puff, putting y'all on tour, instrumental. Kid Capri, giving you the biggest record of your life, instrumental. When y'all make them trees, why don't you make a new one? Or maybe I'll make it and put it out today. Because if y'all gonna use the word culture vulture, I'm gonna use some words too. That's what I'm using today. I'm tired of it, bro. Like this whole thing because of the color people's skin in 2018. So it's like, well, you know, if we attack him and he's white, you know, he gonna get the brunt of it. And, you know, we ain't doing good. So let's just attack him. Stop, man. It looks bad. I'm calling y'all on it. That's what we doing moving forward. I'm not being personal. I'm not being like, you know, like they act like they did Def Jam a favor, bro. Def Jam was rolling multi-million-dollar bought out 5-6 times. Russell, I don't know how many houses the boy had. And I'm gonna tell you something. Some people like to say Dame Dash stole. Let me tell you something. There's no such thing as stealing money at a record company. Record company money is free money when you have a label deal and overhead. Stop. It's the only business where you can take money and nobody wants to kill you. Stop. He didn't take money. The president or whatever Dame's position is, you can't steal money because I don't want to knock him on nonsense. All he did, I'm going to be honest, New York, Dame Dash did nothing wrong back then. And to today, he's done nothing wrong. He handled it a certain way. He was cocky. He did it the way he needed to do. And people became very successful. And a lot of people made money from him. The only thing he's doing wrong in 2018, he's now blaming other people for anything he's uncomfortable with. Because the boy got success. I never seen a sore winner. I've never seen this in my life. He did nothing wrong. And he's done nothing wrong today. It's just like, bro, like it is what it is. Lior is still successful. Jay is still successful. That's it. They didn't take you along for the ride, bro, because you had a big mouth. But it's okay. Dude, make your bread. Make your bread, man. Stop pulling everybody down into the trenches with people in this business, man, because y'all ain't gonna pull me. That ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna tell the truth. If I offended anybody today, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. What time is it? It was crazy. I didn't mean to offend nobody, but I just told you what it is. All right? When I see the Rockefeller brand making trees, make some trees of the people that help. Let me tell you something, New York. Reasonable Doubt was a album that took a long time to bubble. And I don't want anybody to get mad at me. And you Rockefeller people that work there, you remember this. People laughed at that album cover with that outfit Jay-Z had on. True or false?
Nah, that's fact.
Did they laugh at that album cover in Brooklyn?
They was wondering what he had on.
Right? Why? The hat? The scarf?
It wasn't a thing yet to be dressed in a three-piece suit like that.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't looked at. He had
now,
vision.
What we commend them on is they never let that stop them. And I'm going to tell you about that Reasonable Doubt album, New York. Every day it came out of more and more cars. Every day a record would go in the tunnel. every day Jay-Z would he'd do a freestyle somewhere. Let me tell you the magnitude of Jay-Z, New York. For you youngins, Ain't No was a song where he had a feature from a girl that nobody knew, Foxy Brown. A new rapper put a new person on the last verse that nobody knew. I thought he was bananas. He gave Foxy Brown life. I didn't know who she was. Gave her career. You Rockefeller dudes, why don't you go home and print a new tree? And try and print that tree without using the word culture vulture. Print that tree with the people that helped. Why don't y'all do that? Instead of using that word culture vulture. Because I'm going to keep it 1,000. The Lior thing, I'm not standing still for it no more. I am not standing still for it. I'm not standing still for it with the Kevin Niles. I'm not standing still for it. I was there. I saw it. That's it. Challenge me on it. Call me a liar. I dare any of y'all to call me a liar on anything I said today. I bet you won't. I bet you won't.